Hey friends, Juno here. Welcome to today's pick a card reading. This is another quick reading today. So I've got 3 different piles for you to choose from, and today we're going to be asking messages from the fairy realms. So these are going to be messages coming to you from from fairies. Yeah, so we've got 3 different cards in each pile. I've got one from the Swiss deck, the Swiss Tarot deck, the Wild Unknown Tarot, and the Fairy Tale Lenormand. It's going to be really quick little messages. So I've got this pile number 1 with the selenite here. Pile number 2 with, I believe this is petrified wood. I'm not entirely sure. It looks like tiger's eye, but it's a little bit more tan. So if you actually know what this is and it's not petrified wood, let me know. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. And then pile number 3 with this really cool prism, which is technically a glass and not a crystal, but it breaks light up into its individual light color components, which I think is pretty mystical if you ask me. So anyway, I'm going to let you choose now pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3 with messages from the fairy realms, and go down to the comment section now for selecting your pile. So without further ado, we're going to jump into pile number 1. We will put these piles up here out of the way, but so you can still see them. Let's see, I think you can see these in the camera. Cool. Okay, pile number 1 with this selenite here. These are just going to be quick channeled messages. I don't actually know how to interpret correctly, quote unquote, the Lenormand symbolism, so I'm just using it as a tool guide to jumpstart the channeling process. So if I give any definitions of these cards that aren't quite correct, please feel free to let me know if you're a Lenormand expert, because it is something that eventually I'd like to do these readings in the correct way. But anyway, here's the first card. We've got the ship. Ooh, cool. All right. So we've got a lot of symbolism going on because there's also this dragon and dragonfish in this ship. This is really beautiful. Ships are all about travel. They're moving through water. Water is this kind of transmutational element. So I think that you are working through something right now. The fairy realms are talking about traveling, this inner journey. You're journeying through these kind of non-physical elements, these not quite physical, not quite air, water, transmutational elements. So let's keep going just to get it all together here. We've got the Emperor with this really beautiful tree. It reminds me of a Douglas fir almost. It might be, it might not be, with this kind of eclipse sun going on in the background. Kind of stark looking tree, but trees are really beautiful. They're all about growth. The Emperor card itself is all about being in this strong divine masculine energy, creating something, going through the drive, making something happen. So I think that you're moving through maybe some emotional stuff, but you're on this ship here, right? So you're not stuck in your emotions, right? The water being your emotions, you're not drowning in it. You're actually traveling through them on this ship, which almost looks like it's floating. If you can see that ship, to me, it doesn't even look like it's quite in the water, which is kind of incredible. It's just kind of floating there. So you're like gliding along on top of your emotions instead of allowing them to sink into the depths. And okay, let's look at and see what's on here. We've got 2 different animals with you, right? Here's the figure, and there's like a goose and then a cat. That's pretty cool. And you've got the dragon imagery as well. Dragons are all about these wisdom, especially because it's a Chinese dragon. Chinese dragons and Asian dragons in general are less about war and fear and fire and more about wisdom and ancient clarity. So you're traveling on this craft of wisdom along on top of your emotions instead of getting sunk by them. And you're growing into this very strong tree. To me, tree energy, especially this is a really tall one, right? Trees talk about like going in and being at the root, right? And during a storm, when a tree is being tossed back and forth, it's actually incredibly stable because it's got this trunk here. So it's kind of talking about, when you're stuck in these emotions, right? And I think that maybe you've learned how to do this, or you're learning how to do this. Instead of getting lost in the sea of your emotions, you start deep breathing and start focusing on your root, where you're connected to the earth, really grounding yourself and deep breathing and focusing on the trunk of your body, bringing your awareness from your emotions and your mental sphere, your mind that's just chasing and turning, bringing your awareness down through your heart center, down into your root, and just breathing into your lungs and focusing on breath. I think that maybe that can help you right now, or has helped you in the past, be able to travel on these. And then your final card is the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, okay, so the pages are all about starting a new journey. They're the very beginnings of the royal cards. So they're talking about how you're at the beginning now of manifesting material goods, wealth, abundance. And abundance can be anything physical in your life, but bringing in the physical world around you to start shaping it to the way you want to look and act. And so I think that maybe that's where you've come now. You've learned how to let go of sinking into these emotions, right? Let go of staying up here, grounding and rooting yourself. And now that you can do that, now that you can come back into your own personal awareness and not let the stuff drag you down, you're now in this opening, in this beginning to start building the material abundance around you the way that you want, in a way that's going to really make you happy and help you through life. So I think that that's what you have coming to you. That's your quick messages. Let me know in the comments either way what you think. Subscribe to the channel. I've got discounts for YouTube subscribers on my website for private readings, www.junodrum.com. So please check that out. Let me know what you think, and we're going to move on. Thank you so much. That was your pile. Hi there, pile number 2. This is your quick reading for messages from the fairy realms right now. Like I said to pile number 1, I'm doing a very quick reading, and the first card is with the Lenormand. I don't know the official Lenormand definitions yet. I'm still kind of learning that system, so feel free to correct me or add that to the comment section if you know better definitions. But like I said, I'm just kind of using this as a jumping off point for channeling messages. So the first one that you have is the Rider. And look at that. This is kind of more, like I said, these are fairy tale imagery. And, you've got kind of this Arabian Nights going on, which I think this is kind of what this is alluding to, but he's riding through the sky on this magical horse. Which is really incredible, and it's all at night. You've got the stars behind you. So it's kind of like, to me, this is almost reminding me of astral projection, right? He's like high above the city. He's gone up, and he's like in this mystical realm. So maybe the fairy realms are talking about coming to a point of learning how to, open your awareness to larger possibilities potentially. Or at the other hand, it's like looking at the bigger picture. Maybe you're at a situation in your life where it would be more helpful for you to not get lost. Lost the forest for the trees, seeing the forest for the trees. So not getting lost super on the hyper details that aren't quite going your way at this moment, but instead changing your awareness, looking up, going deep into the sky, and seeing the city all below you instead of just these like little buildings, right? That's kind of talking about this idea of changing your awareness so that you are aware of you don't get lost in the details, and you have a clearer understanding of what's happening. Let's keep going. For the Wild Unknown, you've got the Fool. Oh, great. So you kind of got this new journey going on as well here. With the duck, we've got this little duckling imagery, so it's like childlike. New beginnings, we've got this beautiful yellows and oranges, which can talk about the sacral chakra and the, these are all kind of lower chakras too, especially with this either petrified wood or some kind of tiger's eye or something quite like that. Talking about these lower chakras too, so grounding as well, which is interesting. If you want to learn more about grounding, check out pile number 1, because that talks all about grounding. But I think that for you, I'm really getting this sense of coming into a peace in your own personal power and personal understanding, right? With the solar plexus. Yeah, this is like solar plexus with the yellows as well. In the sun energy, you're coming into a new awareness and understanding of yourself as you start to learn more. Let's look at this final card. We got the Three of Cups. Okay, yeah. And that's bringing in your ability to be with new people. It's celebrating with friends is what this card is all about. So, I think that instead of getting lost in some of these details of where things aren't going right, by starting to look at the bigger picture, I think that you can start going down this new journey where you'll be able to attract the people into your life that are on the same page as you and are ready to celebrate life. I think that also too, potentially gratitude can really help you. Look up gratitude meditations. They can be incredibly helpful in changing your perspective. So shifting your perspective into this more magical, mystical awareness. You're being asked to celebrate right now, celebrate your life, celebrate what's working. And by doing that, you open up a new beginning and a new phase where you get out of some of this darkness, right? This not so great or not so kind, comforting mental spaces, and move into this very soft and beautiful new day with this little baby chick here. I really do think that that's kind of what's going on for you. So look at your life right now and ask yourself, like, what is it that I have that I can actually celebrate? What is it in my life right now that I'm really happy and proud of? Because there's got to be something, right? Like, you got to look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're really deeply proud of yourself for all of the things that you've done right and done well. And by shifting your perspective into that idea that that things are actually working out, in certain areas, things don't work out sometimes, and not everything works the way that we plan, and we can get lost in these kind of situations where things aren't quite working out for us and we get really depressed. But the way to get out of that, the way to raise your vibration, quote unquote, is to really start to celebrate the things in your life that are good and that you enjoy. By doing that, you allow yourself to further those things and to continue them by really focusing your perspective on all of the things that you're grateful for, right? And we all have something to be grateful for. Did you have a place to sleep last night? That's amazing that you did. Did you, you're on the internet right now in some capacity because you're watching this. So, you have access to these kinds of tools. Like, it's something to be really grateful for that you have the ability to do that. And by doing that, it's not kind of a shame. You don't need to shame yourself for those things. That's the complete opposite. Celebrate yourself for having those things, and be thankful for them. Thank the world for them. And the more that you start to shift your perspective into this, you open up this brand new day for you. You've got kind of a dawn. I see dawning here. This is very dawn energy to me. So, you've got a brand new day dawning here. So celebrate that. Celebrate the new day that's coming in for you every morning if you want. I do these, I do something called morning pages, which I got from the Artist's Way. Check that out if you want. It's a really wonderful kind of workbook into jumpstarting your creativity. But a part of that is to just to do like a little journal every morning and blurt out whatever comes out, But I tend to use that to celebrate the new day. I write a whole little gratitude meditation on the paper, and it's really, really helpful. It sets my whole day off, and then I'm much happier during the day because I've allowed myself to focus on what are the things I want in the morning, like what are the things during the dawn that are really helpful and gentle and kind and nice for me. And so by focusing on those kinds of things, you really allow yourself to bring more of that into your life. That's kind of the law of attraction is all about that. It's whatever you put your energy into, whatever you put your mind into is what you continue in your life. So by starting to celebrate the things that are going right instead of holding yourself against yourself for the things that aren't going right, you really you bring in this magical, mystical moments, Horse imagery as well, you've got the rider, so it's like riding in, charging in, excuse me, which is kind of like all about this idea of, it's charging in fast. You've got this like, go for it, you got this thing saying, go for it. You got a new beginning coming in, go for it. You've got celebratory energy coming in, go for it. Go for it. I see this as just being really great. You've got a lot of really wonderful things coming to you. I can see that through this. So find them, right? Focus on those. Focus on the things that are going right, because that's going to help you continue those things. Okay, pile number 2, that is your reading. I hope that you liked it. Let me know in the comments either way. Check out my website, www.junodrum.com, for private readings, and please subscribe to the channel. I'm offering a little discount for private readings right now for YouTube subscribers. So please subscribe. Yeah, anyway, thanks. See you later. All right, hi there, pile number 3. You chose this really cool prism. Let's jump right in. Like I told the first 2 piles, I don't quite know how to correctly interpret the Lenormand symbolism right now, so this is all just stuff I'm using to channel and kind of get messages out. If you know some more correct interpretations for the Lenormand, please let me know in the comments below. And yeah, let's just jump right in. So first card you've got is the Sun. Oh, wonderful. Okay, yeah, no, I see you've got a new day dawning here, you know, because it's these fairy tale imagery. You've got these like happily ever after thing coming on here, but it is really about that. You've got these flowers blooming, but mostly you've got the dawning of a brand new day. So right off the bat, I am so into this pile. Let's keep going. Okay, 7 of Swords, which can indicate, you know, some kind of deceptive energy sometimes. So let's keep going with that. I don't know exactly what that's talking about. And then the 4 of Swords is talking you to rest. Okay. So yeah, you know, there is some kind of rest energy in here as well. I think that maybe, you know, I think you've been through some tough stuff actually with this 7 of Swords, and it can be with other people, it can be with yourself, sort of like self-deception kind of thing sometimes, I think is what this one talks about. So, you know, you've had some tricky stuff going on, but that's all over now because you got the rest card. I think that you've been out of that for a while and you're kind of just like processing it still. You got a lot of processing going on, but you got another flower here, lots of flowers energies. So, you know, I think the worst is behind you. I think that that's what this pile is kind of talking about, right? Because you've got the Sun in the center here and you're kind of in this dawning of a new day, right? She's waking up from her slumber. So you're in the slumber still, and it's come from these kinds of tricky, difficult things and situations that may have happened to you. But, you know, today you're in a dawning of a new day. Let's look at some numbers. We've got there's a 5, this is a 4, and a 7. 4, 5, 7, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't know exactly what that's talking about. But, oh no, sorry, you got 2 4s. Yeah, 4 and 4. So that's kind of cool. 4s are all about foundations. So I think you've been stripped down to your foundations. You know, and you know, I think that the last cycle that you went through was really challenging and difficult, but that cycle is over now. You know, as much as it's hard and, you know, you're kind of locked in maybe this like, oh, that stuff didn't really work out for me all that well. I think you're moving into a new day. Check out pile number 2, because that one talks all about moving into a new day as well, but that one's sort of like all about how to change your perspective from some things that haven't worked out so well to some things that really are working out well. So I think that that could actually really help you. So check out pile number 2. But for this, I think that you're in a rest period right now, and I think that you're overcoming some hard stuff and some hard situations, which is never easy. As somebody who's gone through these sort of dark night of the soul periods before, let me tell you, it's not the most easy thing. But the thing about those, and the thing about those tower moments, like I was said, I think that you were kind of stripped down to your foundations because you had built something up in your life that wasn't stable, and so it toppled over because it was built on some foundations that were you know, not exactly stable, right? Some stuff that you had built up, you know, it wasn't really, it was built on sand. So now you have the chance to really rebuild your life, and see, she's now in her happily ever after. So she's now able to build the life that she wants because, she's taken a break. She took this rest period, and I think you're still in that. And maybe you need to do that some more, you know, like, it's okay to take a break for sure. It's okay to rest, and honestly, recuperating emotionally and emotional healing sometimes is needed after you've been through these really challenging, difficult situations. And and kind of admitting to yourself that it's okay to take a break and loving yourself anyway, working on that self-love, and really tuning into the sun. Where is the sun in your life? You know, what do you have to be grateful for? And that focusing on gratitude, look up gratitude meditations. Like I said, this is just like pile number 2. Pile number 2 talks all about gratitude and gratitude meditations and the transformative power of gratitude. So check out pile number 2 as well. I really do think that would help you. But like the prism here, you know, if we look into that symbolism, the prism is all about like connecting to, you know, changing the light system and the light source and splitting it into these color components. So, you know, it's kind of like moving from a single monotone color white to this like really beautiful rainbow technicolor. So I think that you're moving into that technicolor now after being in this kind of like monotone. You're moving into this color through, you know, you've got all these flowers and flower imagery. It's the sun. It's a new day. So anyway, that was my reading for you. It's pretty quick. I hope that you're doing okay. You know, just remember that every single day is a new day and a new opportunity to really love yourself and to live the life of your dreams. Like all of that is possible for you. It still continues to be. But I think you got to process a little bit still, which is totally fine. Giving yourself the time and the space to rest and to process things, and giving yourself, like devoting more time, the more time you devote to it, the quicker you can get through that period and really blossom into your new day and your new sun. So, you know, stick with it. It's tough to be in that energy. I've been there a lot, and it's really, 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 really hard. But the more you devote to healing, you know, and resting and really taking the time, the quicker and the more powerful it'll be when you pull out of that period. So tune into pile number 2. That'll help you as well. And that's it. Let me know in the comments either way what you think of this reading. I'd love to hear from you. If you would like a private reading with me, I can get way more in depth, and I can give you way more in depth healing. My private readings tend to be healing focused. Most of my readings are, but these quick readings have just been kind of channeled messages. I'm experimenting with this, but I've got more longer form readings, pick a card readings on my website or on my YouTube channel as well. So maybe check one of those out. I'll be doing more long form ones, I think probably once a week as I do these more regularly. But if you'd like a private reading with me, check out my website, junodrum.com. I'm doing a promotion for YouTube subscribers right now, so subscribe to the channel and get a little discount. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Have a great day. See you later.